Ben, I came across something, wives of Reddit. We can,
oh boy.
What is a sexual fantasy you could never tell to your husband? So I went down this Reddit wormhole.
Okay.
To everyone try something with their partner, not willing to face rejection. You might consider trying something like the carnal collaboration quiz. Lets you fill it out separately, and then it only gives you results from where you overlap. Some of these, I want to hear him moaning and saying nasty things to me. I just want to watch him masturbate or even hear about it. I want him to be spontaneous. Let's summarize that statement.
Yeah.
I think if every woman probably was asked after their marriage had plateaued as far as sex goes, right? It's kind of the same old thing. Let's just do it quick.
Right.
You know, let's just get it over with.
Yeah.
The foreplay.
Right.
A lot of it goes out the door.
Yeah.
Take a survey of married women.
Yeah.
I would say that would come up a lot.
Probably.
I want spontaneity.
Yeah.
Then when you try to be spontaneous,
right,
you get met with objection, and I'm not in the mood for this today.
You got to make it happen. No is not an exceptional answer in this play, madam.
But
You're going to get spontaneity whether you like it or not.
I think that would come up. It's like, oh, I want him to be honest. But how much honesty do you really want? I feel like that would come up, then you would try to be spontaneous, and then you would get met with objection.
Yes.
And then how likely is it that he's going to try being spontaneous again?
Right.
I mean, how many times does one need to be denied before he just says, fuck it?
Well, I think it's a two-way street, right? If you want a friend, be a friend. If you want to be friends with someone, try being a friend to them, right? If you want spontaneous sexual action from someone, try giving that person a little spontaneous sexual action, right?
Because that would let them know. That would let them know that this would likely be received.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, anything. You know, as small as like just a hint, you know? If we're talking about marriage, a lot of these girls, they just get stuck in this place where it's like, man, if I never said anything, I wonder if it would ever happen. And so you're like, I'm just going to let her come to me.
And you're waiting, and you're waiting.
Yeah.
And you're waiting.
Yeah.
And you're waiting.
Right.
And I've gone through those stints where it's like I've literally tried every night.
Yeah.
And have gotten denied for one reason or the other.
Right.
And then I say to myself, because I get all pissed off, I get offended.
Yeah.
That my sexual advances were not well received.
Right.
And then I'm like, I'm not going to ask at all.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything.
From now on. And then, of course, that doesn't end up lasting because I'll want it. There's nothing spontaneous about going through the same motions over and over.
No.
But you're right. The way if you want spontaneous, you need to and
be a little spontaneous.
Right. And spontaneous has not been in the recent calendar year.
Right.
Then you need to show him a little bit of spontaneity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tired of this whole thing. It's like, what does a woman want? Okay, fine. That's what you want. What are you willing to do? But you're not going to do anything about it. You just want us to read your mind and show up.
Which is impossible.
At the exact right time and say the exact right words.
Oh, yeah, because if you say the wrong thing,
it's spontaneous.
Over.
That's only going to spontaneously work.
It's a drop in a bucket.
99 out of 100 times, it's going to be the wrong time. It's going to be the wrong words. It's going to be the wrong everything. You're the only one that knows when the time is right. So how about when you know that the time is right, why don't you try to be a little spontaneous? But it's a whole different thing because, like, you know, with females, it's so internal.
Seems to be that way.
And we don't really understand that.
No, we don't.
Because all our junk is like hanging outside of our body, you know? So it's a completely different thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's ridiculous. It really is. It's a mind F. Once you get settled, you have kids, the newness is now an old, rusted, patinaed.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, you want to spice it up and bring spontaneous into the equation, which if you surveyed married women, probably surveyed men, they'd be like, yeah, I would love to be able to just go and just rip her clothes off.
Right.
And her be accepting and turned on by that.
Right.
But if you walked over and just tore her blouse, she'd cuss you out for tearing her blouse.
Yeah.
That was my good shirt.
Oh.
And you think you're getting any?
Oh.
Yeah. You dirty dog.
Oh.
But
Poor
seriously,
me.
like if you took control and tried to, be spontaneous.
Yeah.
Where there was a window of opportunity for such thing, chances are your timing would be off.
Right.
And now her blouse, you need to buy me something new to wear.
Well, there's another way to look at it too, right? Which is, are not attracted to a guy who's like a little puppy dog. Oh, just waiting to get my...
I love you.
Yeah, I love
you so much.
I'm just waiting on you. You just tell me when the time is right. I'm always ready. I'm always waiting.
I'm here at your beck
I'm
and
always
call.
here at your beck and call. Whenever you're ready to make sweet, sweet love.
Cradle that puppy.
Yeah.
Squeeze that puppy to death.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's a fine balance of like kind of not giving a fuck too.
Of course.
That can be a turn on for a female. You know what I mean? Where you kind of have to try to skate that line a little bit. Does your wife look up to you? Does your wife look up to you? Like, does she admire you? And I think you go in and out of different things. But like for me, there's areas where I could say my wife is probably admires me, and
proud,
and other areas where she probably doesn't.
Yeah, my wife too.
And so I think that we have to work on that stuff as men. We have to identify what those things might be. And obviously you're never going to be able to completely,
be everything to
get
everybody.
Someone's admiration 100%. At the same time, there are things that you can do that make her go, "Oh, wow." And I think that makes a big difference. If she's going, "Oh, wow," instead of, "God, dang it." You know what I mean? Like just constantly just like, ugh.
No, I get it.
Like he left his clothes on the floor again, or like he left, the area dirty again, or he didn't clean up after the after this or that, or didn't take the trash out again.
These are all things your wife hates about what you do, Ben.
Or didn't do,
Ben's rattling down the list of things that pisses his wife off. Probably.
Yeah, and taking the trash out. I mean, I'd probably miss it 3 weeks in a row.
And it pisses her off every time.
Well, I'm a different cat, dude. I mean, I'm just on a different time scale. I just am, and I'm not making an excuse of that, but it's true. So I think that, at least for me, I want to be, we're the leaders of the family. We're the leaders of the whole thing. They look to us for that, to bring home the money, to make sure that everything's paid, to make sure that everything's taken care of. I mean, that's not their responsibility, right? For the most part.
Right.
I mean, maybe they do something on the side or whatever and it helps.
Well, there's a different dynamic in every relationship. Some relationships, the wife is the breadwinner.
Yeah, of course. And that's fine too, but I'm just saying we all have responsibilities that we're handling throughout life. So one thing is that stuff in check. That's one thing. You know what I mean? And then I think the other thing is like, how's she feel about herself? Does she feel sexy? Because for us, it's completely different. I don't have to feel sexy.
No.
It doesn't even enter the
I
equation.
could feel like a blob of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And I'd still want a nice release.
Yeah, exactly. and then you can just move on with your day.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's different than getting like ran through and like jizzed on.
Oh God. Talk dirty to me.
You know what you are?
Talk dirty
You're
to me.
just a
boo.
weak,
You
stupid.
Come by. Say what?
I'm coming in hot.
That would be a prime example of saying the wrong thing.
Yeah. At the same time, there's a certain level of fantasy I think that girls have where they are getting banged. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Acting on fantasy.
Yeah.
That's why porn is porn. Because, you know, if that's the way it was all day, every day, there would be no porn. You know? People hide their true fantasies.
Right.
You know, and so that's what porn is all about. Is you can go and find your fantasy and watch it and then be in and out of there. You know what I'm saying? What are her fantasies, you know?
Well, that's exactly that, you know. Spontaneous is going to be the number one thing on the list. I want my man to be more spontaneous. I just think it is a slippery slope.
Well,
and I think it needs, if that's truly what you want, then you need to show some spontaneity. When he is spontaneous, he's pretty confident that it'll be received and not denied, because nobody wants to be denied, especially when they step out of their comfort zone to try something that they might have tried years ago, but now things have, you know, taken a different.
Maybe there's something like, okay, for example, here's an idea. You have to give out little cues, right? Maybe it's a little pinch here or there. Maybe it's a little rub.
Maybe it's a little ball flick.
I'm talking about to the girl, to make sure that she's open to this right now, right? To make sure that she's, because you know how it is when you're married. I mean, it's not like, you know, it's like.
You're tired.
Well, I'm just saying, like.
You have kids, you're tired.
know when she's going to be eventually cool with it. It might not be right now. You get a little bit of information that tells you, oh, yeah, I'm probably getting some tonight.
She just took a shower right before she gets into bed.
She smiled at you,
right.
You know, whatever it might have been.
She's actually like laying closer to you on the bed.
Yeah, she responded when you kind of gave her a hug and you squeezed it a little bit. She was kind of like, or something. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, she was receptive. She wasn't like, stop.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a little signal that she was going to be cool with what was coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She was cool with the pipe.
So now we know it's time to plan what's going to happen next.
Right.
And if you bring some freaky stuff, I think that's what we're talking about here. I think she wants some freaky weird stuff, you know, when the time actually comes, versus just
ding dong, there's the neighbor. I got the neighbor here.
Yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Oh, boom. Okay, sweet. That was
Here's
awesome.
Jack from down the street.
You know.
Or Bill.
No, but I mean, like, you know, there's all kinds of things that you can do. I did something one time, and my wife still talks about it. You know? You know.
Was it slow, eloquent seduction?
No, but I think that, you know, you just kind of mix it up a little bit. They want variety a little bit, you know? I mean, geez, just a little bit of mixing it up.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're going to wrap it up today. It is the ManFUzed Podcast. So you can take some of what our best advice might be to be more spontaneous in your relationship. And I think probably every one of us could do better in that area, men and women both, in a relationship. Especially as you get into 10, 11, 12 years of being married.
And be spontaneous with yourself, too.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to light a candle,
Yeah.
Ben, as soon as you leave, and I'm going to attack myself because no one's here.
No one's here to hear me scream.
Yeah. Thank you for joining the ManFUzed Podcast. If you'd like to reach out to us, hit us up at manfused.com or 770-744-5227. Ben, anything else?
See you later.
Foo Media.